This episode of the Young Turks is brought to you by Squarespace.
New CBS News poll out saying that 53% of Americans would only like tax cuts for 98% of us, people making under $250,000. Only 26% would want them continued for everybody. But here's an interesting category. 14% say that no one should continue to get the Bush tax cuts. I'm actually in that category because I care about the deficit. And if we all get these tax cuts, including the rich, we're going to put about $3.7 trillion hole in the budget. That is unconscionable. And then we borrow that money from China, and then our kids, grandkids, et cetera, pay for it. In fact, a little later in our life, we're going to pay for it in a big way. So I don't want any of the Bush tax cuts, okay? But I'm minority, 14%. Majority of them say, hey, give it to the 98%. Let's do some math, because apparently the people in the White House are stupid. They can't do math. When you put the 53 along with the 14% who say either no tax cuts for anybody or no tax for the cuts for the rich, that's 67% of the country that says no tax cuts for the top 2%. 67. 26% say tax cuts for everybody. 67 to 26. 67 to 26. So which side is the White House going on? Of course, because they're either stupid, pathetically weak, or complicit, they're going to go with the 26%. So, oh no, Republicans said the tax cuts for the rich is what the country wants. We got to go in that direction. So here's poll number one. Number two, there's a group called Anzalone List Research. They do research for Democrats from time to time. They're circulating a new memo on Capitol Hill. It says that 77% of the country, if asked, hey, should we give tax cuts to the rich, or should we pay down the deficit, or help create jobs through small business? In fact, they didn't even mention the jobs part. They just said help small business. 77% of the country agreed with that. 46% strongly agreed with that. 77% of the country say pay down the deficit rather than give more tax cuts to the rich. How clear do these numbers need to be before you gather up the courage to fight? But instead, of course, the Democrats, but I should be fair, because the Senate Democrats are apparently, even though they're considered to be conservative, much more progressive than the massively conservative White House, who is right now working with the Republicans to make sure the tax cuts for the rich get implemented, even though they promised before the election that they would fight that. And Obama promised before his election in 2008 that he was going to take away those tax cuts for the rich and that he was going to help to balance the budget with it. But he lied. He lied. Because, look, do you not understand politics? I mean, how badly did you need to lose in 2010 before you understand, hey, you want what? You might want to defend your own positions. You don't understand what the number 67 is? You understand what the number 77 is? How stupid are you? But you're not stupid, right? Everybody knows Obama's not stupid. He went to all these great colleges, did excellent in those colleges. Everybody tells us how brilliant he is. So what is it? Are you so pathetically weak that as soon as a Republican attacks you, oh my God, oh no, I'll give it to you. I'll give you the 2-year extension. What more do you want? Or is it that you actually are rich and all the friends that you have and all the people you know in Washington, Chicago, everywhere else, they're all rich. And so you either consciously or unconsciously want the tax cuts for the rich. Which one is it? Because there's no political argument, none whatsoever, that says this is a smart political move. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me go against 67% of the country who says do not give the tax cuts to the rich. Unjustifiable. So what is their rationale for this? First of all, which way are they going? Let's go to Robert Gibbs, the White House spokesperson, who's going to speak out of both of his sides of his mouth. Here he is. He says, the president continues to believe that extending middle-class tax cuts is the most important thing we can do for our economy right now, and he applauds the House for passing a permanent extension. Now, because the House passed an extension without giving the tax cuts for the rich. But here comes the interesting part. Gibbs continues, but because Republicans have made it clear that they won't pass a middle-class extension without also extending tax cuts for the wealthy, the president has asked Director Liu and Secretary Geithner to work with Congress to find a way forward. In other words, the president asked them to get on their knees and say, how can I service you, GOP? And Tim Geithner and Jack Lew can't wait to do that anyway. Geithner is a former Republican who has had nothing but absolutely, positively Republican proposals the entire time he's been the Treasury Secretary. So he's like, I get to make a deal with the Republicans. Win-win for everybody. Yeah, tax cuts for us. Screw the middle class. So they're going in there. And then this administration official that talked to Huffington Post, to me, had the most telling of the quotes. He said, quote, the House will vote on their tax cut package. It may pass. Senate will then vote, and then it will fail. And then I ask, what next? You pathetic pushover. What next should be a fight. What next should be Ving Rhames saying, step aside, Butch. I'm going to bring a couple of my homeboys with some lead pipes and a blowtorch and go to work on my homes. That's what's next. Instead, they think the only possible solution, the only thing that can possibly come up next if the Republicans stand their ground is to give in to the Republicans. Do you understand the mindset? Do you get why I think that's the most important quote? Because the White House thinks, well, if the Republicans hold strong and they really want that, our only option is to give in to them. No, that is not your only option. Your option is to be the other party and fight back. And fight back for the people who voted for you. Pathetic in every conceivable way. There's no hope for Obama. He's going to give in every time. He's such a sap. Or, like I said, or much worse, he's in on it. And I know a lot of you think that. I don't know what to think. All I know is the results are ridiculous. And then they call this guy a socialist. He's not even a progressive, man. These positions are to the right of Ronald Reagan. I've proven it 100 times on air. This guy's a Republican, man. Look at what Tom Harkin has to say. He's got the Senate Democrats this mad. Tom Harkin says, I just think if Obama caves on this, look, a senator is saying caves on this. That's strong words. Caves on this, then I think that he's going to have a lot of swimming upstream to do. He said he campaigned on allowing the rates for rich to expire, was very strong on that, and sometimes there are things that are just worth fighting for. The Democrats in the Senate want you to fight. And here's one more, and this is, for Obama, maybe this is the only thing he pays attention to. Harkin said, hey, what happens in 2012? If Obama does this, he would then just be hoping and praying that Sarah Palin gets the nomination. What does it take to get through to Barack Obama? What does it get for him to fight? What does it take for him to be on our side? What does it take for him to be it's not even progressive, man. Are these pundits telling me that 67% of the country is progressive, that they're liberals? Okay, I'll take it. 2/3 of the country are liberals? No, it's the centrist position to say you balance the budget. You don't give another $700 billion tax cut to the richest people in the country. If you don't understand that either, you don't know a thing about politics, or you don't want to know because secretly you want the tax cuts for the rich. New sponsor at the Young Turks, Squarespace. They help you build websites. They've got 24/7 support, and they've built some of the largest websites in the world.
They have an iPhone app, so you can edit your website on the go.
TYT promo code. 10% off for the life of your order. Squarespace.